Have you ever encountered a witch? Have you read stories about them? Well, today I'm about to tell you a story that happened in my family a very long time ago. And this takes place in Ocampo de Tula, Hidalgo, in Mexico. This happened to my grandmother's aunt, whose name was Lupe. When Lupe was around 8 or 9 years old, she had a new baby sister. And she grew up in a very poor family, so they had all been sleeping on the floor all this time. So that night, she was next to her mother, and the baby was in her mother's arms. For some reason, Lupe couldn't sleep that night, and suddenly she saw a very big red sparkle through the window. And because there are a lot of superstitions in Hidalgo, she knew right away it was a witch. So she ran to tell her mother what was happening, but she couldn't move suddenly. She was paralyzed and she couldn't speak. So she could only saw how this big sparkle came into her house and then turned into a very ugly woman whose limbs were very large and she had ugly black long hair. So when this woman came in, she walked towards the mother and of course the baby. She took the baby in her hands and looked at her, and suddenly she bit her little neck and sucked the blood out of her body. So of course Lupe had to see all this, and she couldn't do anything. She couldn't save her sister. So when the witch ended sucking the blood, she left the little body in the mother's arms again, and she disappeared. When she did disappear, Lupe could move again, and then she woke up her mother and told her what had happened. So of course they couldn't do anything else because the baby was already dead. And the surprising thing here is that it not only happened once, it happened twice in their family. So years later, they had another baby, and she died the same way. She had no blood left in her body when they found her, so how could you explain that? Do you still not believe in witches?